Hey everybody, I hope that you are doing well today. This is Stephen with Junior Achievement of North Florida. Here is lesson 1 for JA It's My Future. This is our Work Readiness Middle School program, and this is the first of 4 lessons that I'll be teaching with you guys. So, this lesson is all about how you can prepare, even in middle school, for the workforce. Now, this could be the workforce in high school, workforce in college, or even afterwards. So you can actually take steps to create your own personal brand. What you need for this lesson today is just 2 things. You'll need a piece of paper, a writing utensil, or if you even have colored pencils, those are more than welcome, but you won't need these until really the end of the lesson, okay? So when thinking of a brand, a lot of people think about companies, how they want to promote themselves, and this is what we're going to focus on at the very beginning. Think about Nike. We have the swoosh, Nike, just do it, the tagline. So I'm going to show you guys some pictures, their advertisements that they've used, and I really want you to think about why they are using these types of pictures to entice the customer. First one, we have LeBron James. Next one, a professional basketball player, Rafael Nadal. Serena Williams, Derek Jeter, Alex Morgan, Tom Brady, and then finally, a little kid with the tagline saying, "Find your greatness." So when trying to understand these advertisements, why do you think Nike used specifically those? I mean, majority of them had professional athletes, but at the same time, at the last one, they had just a common little boy who said, "Find your greatness." And so I think Nike is being really strategic in how they're promoting themselves. They are trying to make sure that they are advertising to the professional athletes in the sense that only the best of the best actually use Nike. But it's not just those who are professional athletes, it's for common people who are trying to do everyday things like jump off the diving board, and they can use Nike to help overcome anything they want to achieve. So Nike is very strategic, and companies, even outside of Nike, they have to be strategic in how they promote themselves. I mean, when you think of Nike, you think of consistency, you think of athletic wear, you think of professionalism, just how they are the best of the best in athletic wear. So when we think of companies that they have a brand, you also have to think that you too have a personal brand. When you will enter into an interview room with an employer, you have to promote yourself to where they want to hire you. Companies, they have to promote themselves for the customer to want to buy their product. So you honestly have to think about how you want to promote yourself into the workforce. So a brand is a company's brand is its promise that customers will have a good experience using its goods or services. A brand can be shown with pictures, words, or designs. So it's not just a logo, which we'll check out in a little bit, but it's also words, colors. There's a lot that actually goes inside of a company's brand, and there's a lot that goes into creating your own personal brand as you develop more of who you are beyond middle school, going into high school, and even college and the workforce. Checking out some of these words, we have brand name, copyright, endorsement, sponsorship, public relations, trademark, brand identity, image, consumer perceptions, tagline, logo. There is a lot that goes inside of a brand. It's not just one thing, it's multiple things that creates a company. It's multiple things that creates a person. So one of the first steps that companies take is actually creating their very own logo. And here's some of the most well-known logos across the world. We've already seen the Nike logo. I mean, here's Starbucks, Walmart, and McDonald's. Let's go over that first one with Nike. So a logo is a recognizable graphic design element that represents a business, a product, or a person. So in regards to Nike, this represents the company as a whole. They don't have multiple ones. They literally just have one logo. Now, why do you think that Nike chose specifically this Nike swoosh? It could represent action, speed. It does look like a wing to represent the goddess Nike, who is the goddess of victory. And even the word swoosh, the Nike swoosh, it sounds like a basketball that goes inside of the basket and you score in a swoosh. So one might think of activity, action, victory when they see this specific logo. Now, logos can have a lot of different meanings, just like with Nike. But let's even think about these other logos with Starbucks, McDonald's, Walmart. There's really no wrong answers when thinking about these logos. When thinking about the Walmart logo, even the subtle sign of the sun, it represents brightness, vitality, life. The McDonald's logo is classic. Ever since its beginning, they've been known as the Golden Arches. So it's more of like a sentimental, nostalgic feeling whenever you see that logo. I understand the Golden Arches have been here for a long, long time. And then with Starbucks, they were named after a nautical, mythical creature, the siren, and how it was so enticing to sailors back in the day, and their coffee is extremely enticing. Companies spend so much money and so much time trying to think, how can their specific logo actually portray an entire message for customers come inside their building and purchase a product. Another part of creating a brand is using a tagline. Now, a tagline is a brief slogan used in marketing to define a business, a product, or a person. Checking back with Nike, they have the tagline, just do it. Now, what do you think is the purpose of this tagline? It really invokes action, doing something, movement. Nike is all about being the best of the best athletic wear brands. And so they're encouraging people to go active. And when they do go active, they need to come to Nike. Now, what are some other taglines that you know? I mean, there is Bounty, the quicker picker upper. There is M&M's, melts in your mouth, not your hands. These basic little taglines that convey an entire message for a company. You have in these examples as well, Walmart, save money, live better, even kind of relating back to that sun representing life and vitality. At Walmart, you actually are able to live better because you're saving money. And then with McDonald's, we all know that tune, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Once again, a classic where you understand the nostalgia of eating at McDonald's when you were a kid as you grew up. They're strategic in making sure that they entice the customer into remembering what they've experienced at those specific companies. So when we're thinking about a personal brand, we have the same name represented here, but obviously two different styles. Now on the left side, we have Alex with a lightning bolt in bold letters and italicized, representing athleticism or edgy and strong, powerful. Now on the right side, it's written in cursive with a flower in softer colors. It's not as bold. It's more elegant and peaceful. One is not better than the other. It's really seeing how do you see yourself. Obviously, we have two different Alexes that are representing themselves differently. And that's what it means to create a personal brand. How do you want to represent yourself based on your interests, your skills, and your abilities? So personal brands are represented by people, and you have to think about who are some celebrities or athletes that have a personal brand. Think about it for just a moment. What are they known for? Do they have a logo? Do they have a tagline even? This slide shows just a few examples of all of the personal brands that celebrities have. On the left, we have Beyonce. You can see with her logo, a little bit more bold, a little bit more fierce, present. Ellen has a different type of logo. It seems a little bit more laid back. The LeBron James, he actually uses an image in his logo representing royalty. And then Justin Timberlake, a little bit more classic and stoic. All of these celebrities have purposely chosen and even had teams help them create their very own brand and their very own logo. You can kind of tell what their personality is, even based on this logo, that there is a difference between Beyonce and also Ellen. So students, what we're going to be doing now is you actually going to create your very own logo. This is something that you can think about and how you want to represent yourself. But you have to think about all the different elements of a logo. Thinking about the Nike logo, McDonald's, Walmart, Starbucks. They're very strategic in choosing the color, the shape, imagery, symbols, and then also the names and initials. Let me move up my screen. So you have to think about all of these different types of elements. Even thinking back to the celebrities that have a brand, they specifically chose different colors to represent themselves. Now, what I want you to do is go ahead and grab your piece of paper and then also a writing utensil. You can totally use colored pencils, Sharpie, whatever you have around you, because this is your time to actually create your very own logo. Just to provide maybe even a little bit of context or inspiration, I've had students draw their own logos before. And one example is I had a student draw a diamond and then a sash over the diamond with their name. And it represented, when they presented their logo, they talked about how they've gone through a lot of pressure in life, but they did not crumble with this pressure. They were actually able to withstand and become something beautiful. Another example is I had a student, they drew a very large I representing the first initial of their name. And when they were talking about this logo, they discussed how they are strong, they are bold, that they are not small, that they have a large personality. And then I had another student who wanted to be a beautician, and so she created a self-portrait, and then with a large afro, and all the curls were certain words: strong, beautiful, intelligent. And it was a cool picture. And then at the bottom of it said that beauty is as important on the inside as it is on the outside. And I actually created one myself. I'm not an artist, but this is is the one that I created. I know my first initial obviously is an S, and so I've actually, ever since when I was in elementary school, I think this is a pretty popular little art technique. I drew an S, and then I also designed it to where there's more on the outside and just creating a little bit more of a pop. And so for me, I specifically love systems, I love order, but I also love thinking together, creativity, thinking of new things. So my order, creativity. So when I thought about this, I didn't use a lot of color, honestly, but I knew that I wanted something simple, but at the same time that could be seen as really beautiful and creative. And I love how I used just straight lines. It wasn't a lot of curly lines. That's not really my style. I also think that it wouldn't be as good because I am not an artist. But it can be as simple as possible or as creative and elaborate as possible. But now is the time to go ahead and create your very own logo. Think of the color, shape, imagery, symbols, names, and initials. It's totally up to you to do it. But go ahead, pause this video, and then when you're done drawing your logo, go ahead and press play. All right, students, so you've now created your very own logo. I totally wish I could see all of them. I'm sure they are absolutely wonderful, whether they are simple or elaborate. But let's kind of go over what we've learned about it's called my brand. The very first definition I want to reiterate with you is a company's brand is its promise that customers will have a good experience using its goods or services. A brand can be shown with pictures, words, or designs. Companies have to promote themselves in a very enticing way. Let's talk about logos. A logo is a recognizable graphic design element that represents a business, a product, or a person. As you just did, you actually created your very own logo, and it represents you as a whole. It's a very simple message that represents you as a whole. And that's a tagline. A tagline is a brief slogan used in marketing to define a business, a product, or a person. So you can totally use a tagline to represent yourself. Once again, it's one simple phrase to represent you as a whole or a company as a whole. So students, an additional opportunity that you can actually, when you're looking outside and when you're going to different restaurants or shopping at various companies, I want you to be aware of the logos that you see around you. Analyze why logos work or how they even might be improved, or saying, that's not really enticing to me, or like, I know, like the colors really clash, or wow, that logo makes me want to go inside. Think about how these companies spend so much time wanting to entice customers, and think about how you can actually promote yourself, how you can actually create more opportunities to develop who you are and your character. Students, I've had a lot of fun teaching about my brand, and I hope that you've learned more about how you can actually take steps to knowing more about who you are. This is just lesson 1, and we will see you later for lesson 2.